Hello everyone, I'm Ellie, the fourth speaker from the opposition group in response to topic 2. First of all, I would like to address the question from speaker 2 of the preposition group, Shanwen, that my team may have overlooked. I would say that both raising a child with birth defects and the idea of prenatal testing would weigh fairly the same. In both cases, don't you think that it would only concern those who are financially stable? Or are you trying to say that prenatal testing would be cheaper for those financially handicapped? Certainly, those parents who've gone through prenatal testing would have paid more than the other case. For prenatal testing alone, $2,200 for each doctor checkup plus every additional test for $1,000 to the childbirth. So, just imagine how much any parent would have to pay for prenatal testing and spend before the child is born. Shami mentioned that X-rays are also harmful. We agree, but it is not to the extent of the genetic modification test. The reason is that X-rays are not done as frequently as the genetic modification test. Furthermore, it is done in a more safe environment as X-ray tests have been performed more than genetic modification tests, which is only done in animals. Secondly, I would like to strongly disagree to Shami's understanding of genetic modification can allow people to have more than one talent. My fellow friends, genetic modification does not allow people to have more than one talent. I would say that your group may have a misunderstanding on talent and abilities. Talent does not lie in the DNA. Even so, are you trying to say that genetic modification could add on to the ability of the child? For say those who would be born handicapped physically? Based on our mutual understanding, genetic modification could only do so much by just a prevention to those unborn child that were said to be born with birth defects or possible diseases. If talents could be implemented through genes, the society would not have encouraged them as they have already been modified like tomatoes or chickens, and they ought to produce the best results like any machines. About the woman discrimination, I think you have completely misunderstood our point. We are saying that by prenatal testing, parents are able to see the gender of the child which your group has stated as a joyful moment. However, what we have stated is that it is not a joyful moment for those society who still do not consider women as equal to men. When they realize that the child is a girl, they would just simply abort it or kill it, considering that it is legal. Thus, this brings back again the woman discrimination as there would be more male birth than female birth in the society which is developing, and it is unhealthy for the society. We also do not understand that why do you have a quote about Queen Elizabeth? Are you saying that her parents have gone through genetic modification? If that is your point, I think that it is wrong. She is also a great example who is not a genetically modified child, but a great role model to the world. Hence, I would like to ask, what if the genetic modification goes all wrong and ended up worsening the condition of the baby? I would like to re-emphasize a point that my second speaker, Nurul Ain, has said that the tests are not 100% accurate. Would you take the risk? Sure, pregnant women would of course like to go for prenatal testing and test for the gender and the health of the baby once every few months, but I am sure that doctors would take necessary actions if the health of the baby is endangered or endangering the mother's health. So, why would you want to choose what genes the baby would have? If you're talking about prevention, like how she may have said it, prenatal testing is often presented in medical practice and in some bioethical literature as protecting the well-being of a child. I think the hospitals and the healthcare industry have done much. Like for example, doctors would give vaccination to the baby when it is born, but not only that, even the elderly receive it. Again, as quoted by Shumei, it is unfair to bring a child with disability into the world if we can prevent doing so. If it is unfair, I would like to ask, is it the parents' fault for giving life to such? Why does baby with birth defects even exist? To sum it all, I would like to say that my group still strongly opposes the idea on parents having the rights to determine their genes of their unborn baby will have, as There are risks, and even without genetic modification of the genes, the doctors and government have foreseen the probability of such cases, and that's why they've taken steps to care and do what is necessary. Why not let nature take its course? What's life if everything is so perfect? Behind every defect and disability lies a reason and also a solution. After all, it's about how the parents care for the children, not the genes. It is not fair for blaming all the greatest organizations like the European Disability Forum, which has been a constant help to people. There are also people who disapprove the idea of prenatal testing, like Rick Santorum, opposes the inclusion of prenatal testing in insurance plans, arguing that too many prenatal tests lead to abortions. In summary, prenatal testing is not necessary. It causes more cons than pros. We have to achieve hard for a better life rather than finding shortcuts. Thank you.